Okay, greetings and welcome to a Let's Play Civilization 6. I'm just going to be making a standard game here on Deity. Ancient, standard speed, we'll stick with continents. Let's get a few more civs in the game, and then everything else will just stay on standard as well. So there's a few more options here than in the base game, because I'm using the Better Balanced Start mod. Just allows things like a Russia roll to ensure you get somewhere near Tundra. And the other part of it that I enjoy is strategic resource, spawn guaranteed. Just make sure you do have a horse and iron within 5 tiles of your capital. There's nothing worse than rolling Persia, preparing for war, and realizing you can never build an immortal. So that's all we're going to change. Deity random. Let's see where we go. The focus of this video is going to be probably a little bit of an over-explain about your early game decisions and how they push you towards one win condition or the other. So let's get started.
From the first stirrings of life beneath water
Tokugawa, Japan,
to the great beasts of the Stone Age, to man taking his first upright steps, you have come far. Now begins your greatest quest. From this early cradle of civilization on towards the stars.
Thanks, Sean.
Great.
Okay, so starting with this spawn, we're going to be looking at what early game decisions are going to affect what win condition we go for, what path we take down the tech tree, and things like that. So the first major consideration is obviously the civ we're playing. We have Japan here, whose ability restoration gives us a nice basis for basically any direction we want to take. The all districts receive an additional standard adjacency. Basically means that we're going to get 1 adjacency point per district rather than 0.5. Samurai is a useful unit received through a civic rather than a technology, and the electronics factory gets a bit of extra culture. So this can take us pretty much anywhere we want to go, and then we have this leader ability. The new leader from the Frontier Pass is incentivized towards domestic trade routes. So we actually get a small basically debuff or detriment to our tourism from international trade routes, but internal trade routes receive a lot of extra yields, and that's for every speciality district at the destination. So we can build up the capital, large pop, lots of districts, send a lot of trade routes to it, and receive a lot of extra yields. So having these extra yields actually pushes me a bit more towards a science victory, because one thing that can slow a science victory down is having to spend more time than you'd like developing culture and gold to keep up with your science. Receiving that from internal trade routes will mean we can focus almost entirely on science development. Second thing to look at will be our spawn location. So at the moment, not a lot going on here. We don't have any clear adjacencies, no natural wonders in the first ring, anything like that. A lot of 2-2s, a nice 4-1 spice up here I'd like to move towards. These floodplains kind of indicate we won't be getting seaside resorts along the edge here, so I'm further pushed away from tourism. Let's get a bit more view. Goodie hut, that's nice. Could be a fast start. And probably stepping towards the spice. So I'll do that. We're going to settle another goodie hut. Before we go to the next turn, the only other consideration we really want to look at to start with is the great people. This can determine your tech path. The things to look at is which great artist is up first. If you want tourism, you really want to focus on your religious works of art. They are the most common, and so you can theme the most museums out of them. I feel like sculptures may be the least common, not sure on that, which makes this kind of a mediocre artist. If it was one of the artists containing 3 religious works, you would want to prioritize that a lot. Next one, scientist. Hypatia is what you're looking for. Zhang is also really good. But Hypatia is the key here, and you would want to rush a campus, especially on Deity. Other civilizations will get early campuses, but they will tend to build just that kind of passive +2, +3 points per turn, and you can definitely steal that first one just by completing a project or two. Aribayata we're not concerned with, so we can delay the campus a little if we need to. Mediocre merchant, but rarely are they strong enough to really incentivize that, even though we are going for domestic trade routes. We'll definitely get commercial zones. We don't need it immediately. Imhotep is great, probably my favorite first engineer. You can do a lot of fun things with this. 175 doubled, so 350 production towards ancient classical wonders. That includes some really good wonders like Colosseum, Temple of Artemis, and the best combo, Mausoleum of Halicarnassus, which we'll see if we can pull off this game. And then you've got your admirals and generals, which we'll discuss if we find ourselves in a war. Let's jump to turn 2. Let's get this rolling. Settling in place. Next to a volcano, always a bit interesting. We will work the spice there. We will grow really fast with that 4-1, and we've got a lot of good 2-2s to work afterwards. Unfortunately, just a 2-1 base, but still pretty happy with that settle. Build order, I almost always start with a scout, unless I've got a unique unit I want to build. Finding city-state first meets and more goodie huts is just vital. So scout first, and then we'll see whether we want a second scout, or a builder, or a monument, or straight into a settler. You normally can't go straight into a settler, because the scout is normally produced quicker than you grow, but because we're working a 4-1, and actually not very much production, only at 4 at the moment, we will grow a long time before the scout. Let's sit down here for this hut. I would like to find horses. I imagine there's some in here, or if not down here. And then we'll probably get mining for these chops. Like I said, we don't have to rush any particular technology, so we're not going straight to a campus. We can pick up these utility techs first and then have a look. Moderate flood. Improve nothing. It's a bit of a shame. Could have got some extra food in there. Recon unit, great. So we can get our 2 scout opening without having to build 2. We'll continue this one, just so I can get as much vision as I can. Another goodie hut. Okay, I knew we'd grow fast, but early +1 pop is a great hut. We'll definitely take that. Probably the only thing better than going scout population would be if one of them was a builder. Okay, this coastline's looking a little barren. All of this looks just not very enticing, so the next city will probably be internal here, and we'll see if we can play some fun adjacency games with dams and aqueducts. Money is always appreciated. And Tenerivo. Okay, first meet, amazing. Trade route, not very useful. Most of ours will be domestic, but at least it's something achievable if we want to seize them. They are quite a strong city-state, but not till the late game. So we're going to need to pump out a few great people and collect that extra culture. So city-states that you meet are another big consideration in your direction of your game. This one actually, while it gives you culture, tends to push me again away from the tourism game, because this can really shore up your culture regardless of the win condition you're going for, which means you don't need to build too many early theatre districts and things to keep up in culture. A few scientists and a few great merchants, and all of a sudden you're getting +10 culture across your empire, +10% culture across your empire, without having to go into culture at all. It is percentage based, obviously, so you need some base culture to start with, but keep exploring, keep opening up this land. Let's see how far down we have to travel. Okay, that is the bottom of the map. It's because it looks like it tucks away here. I'll step back towards the middle. We'll take this off and continue through these turns. Another meet, Auckland, not first, and wants a trade route. Unfortunate. Auckland, again, doesn't push towards, despite being a strong city-state, doesn't really influence our decision. It just means we can settle coastal and get a bit more yield out of that edge if we do want to seize them. So I'm going to send him around this way. Discovering that camp is kind of going to tie up this warrior for the foreseeable future, so he can come take over the role of exploring this side of the map.
John Curtin.
Australia. Okay. They can be an interesting ally. They do tend to like war. They do have a very high early production with their pastures, which can be dangerous. We'll have to see how that goes. Scout out. With this first meet, I don't feel the need, and with our high population, I feel like we don't need to go straight to a monument. A builder would be nice, but there's nothing yet until we figure out if we've got some horses. We do have a lot of chops, but again, that'll wait for mining. So I think I will just go for a very early settler, and that'll be great. Turn 8, 3 pop. We're producing a settler quite quickly. It's a good tempo start so far. Jump across this way, trying to get vision of Auckland in case we want to complete that send trade route quest. I will step up first, get some vision. Nothing in here, but potentially some horses. Okay, a settler from Australia. Hopefully he stays there or moves further. If he starts taking this land, we're going to be very cramped. Okay, good. Okay, let's continue north. Because Antananarivo was a first meet, I want to see what's above it. Hopefully Australia hasn't scouted there yet. This scout is probably from this camp, so we can ignore it and step around. Hit in there in 2 turns, once Galore's is done.
There are no dogs in heaven.
Animal husbandry. 1 horse in the capital. None along this stretch, which is a bit of a shame. This is going to be a nice city with the 2 4-1s. A little more production would have been brilliant. Step here, that gives us trade route capacity, so we can keep exploring. Cross the river. We don't need to rush campuses, although that's our goal. We'll grab mining. And again, I don't see a need for religion here. There's no adjacencies. There's no real incentive to go early holy sites. We're not going to be starved for growth to need feed the world or anything like that. Wait 1 more turn.
It is not wisdom,
Code of
but
laws.
authority.
Discipline goes in, God King goes in, because we're not producing any faith, and we'd like a pantheon. You can hit. You can come down here for another goodie hut. And cross the river. Choose a civic. We want domestic trade routes very soon, but I'm also a little concerned about Japan. Japan? I'm Japan. I'm concerned about Australia. So we do want to have a go ready to go. So I will probably move towards craftsmanship and then stop with space for a builder to finish that inspiration. Head north. Okay, St. Orbit Skull. Morbid, but excellent. Gonna jump in here. Just have a look. This is going to actually push us a little bit towards a tourism victory. So extra faith is always welcome. It's very useful for naturalists and rock bands at the end. An early generation of tourism stacks up over the turn, so it can get you just a couple extra tourists to speed up at the end. But again, we have no faith direction in our early spawn. So I don't think the +4 actually pushes me towards holy sites in any way. without holy sites. I just feel like a tourism victory is just quite tedious towards the end. If you have to try and outproduce the AI without rock bands, I just get frustrated. It is doable, obviously, but without a nicer coast, without some national parks, I feel like we're just going to go for this science route, see if we can't make use of this large amount of land, take Australia's land, and just produce our way to the end. I'm going to heal up here. I'm not in a rush to clear that camp, but scouts nowhere to be seen. Looks like we end here, so I'll check out this way. Nice. Step up north, trying to get some vision above here. Barbarian camp right in the middle. Bit awkward. It's going to incentivize Australia to send troops this way. And we kind of want to settle in here somewhere. So we'll see how that goes. Oh yeah, that's nice. Okay. Done pretty well on the Goodie hut so far. This builder can get to work immediately. And then probably the quarry. And then the rice. So we will get the trigger for craftsmanship, which is great. These Goodie huts. Hopefully he moves and we can jump in there. First meet. Trigger for irrigation. We can definitely do that. So that is quite useful. Akkad will get a second envoy for that trigger of irrigation. So just with one more envoy we can become Sues there. And that means we can walk through walls, basically. Probably Australia's walls. So just another incentive to go to war there. I'll take that hit. We'll heal a bit more. He's kind of out of jobs. Probably time to check out this corner. Okay, does extend. You will promote after that hit, so I will take it. Grow in 1. Should have been working the horse, that's fine. And produce in 2. I do think we need a unit to go north here with, so I'm not sure quite how I'm going to pull that off. Knowledge of astrology, sure. I'm not sure if that will ever be of use, but second builder, that will be of use. I suppose you just come this way. You grab that and then probably that shop, and you can come to here and get ready to hit that either in several turns or whenever I get a chance to. Heal up. We'll go to 36. This will give us an extra boost of gold, and we'll use that to buy a unit. Quick deal screen. This is from, I think it's actually just called the Quick Deals mod. Australia really wants our horses. We'll wait till this gets to 5 or 6, and we should be able to get some GPT off in there. Get here ahead of Australia. Maybe there's something down there. Looks like there's a barb camp down there. And a Goodie hut. Okay. Fortify. Try not to forget about him. Mining done. Feel we probably want to just push towards campuses. We don't need to rush there. But we do want them up soon. We may deviate to plantations at some point. Okay. Settler out. Figure out where he's going. I've got a lot of nice settles down here. This is obviously prime real estate. I am concerned about amenities though. If you have a little count around, we've got spices in the capital, spices here, mercury, fur. This whale is going to be important. The only source of citrus is up here. And I feel like this is prime real estate for Australia's next settle. So I'm tempted to actually throw down a blocker city as my first settle. This would be okay, but I feel like Australia is still going to settle in this space here anyway. and that's a very expensive buy to get to the citrus. So when we're planning our empire, we might just have to take a little bit of time on this turn and figure out a few directions for our cities. The only real concern is obtaining luxuries, obtaining strategics, obtaining prime bits of land. So that would be here, and kind of this corner here is quite nice as well. And then any kind of regional effects. So if we're going to put down some commercial hubs, industrial zones, we want a lot of cities within 6 tiles of our main industrial zone. So I think we can have a little bit of fun with this floodplain here. If we do aqueduct, city on either of these, doesn't really matter. Probably here. We can start looking at a really nice industrial zone in the middle. Floodplain gives us access to a dam. We're already looking at a +9. We can probably fill that in, get it up to +10, maybe 11, and then we'll be able to double it with policies later for maybe +20 production in the capital. So that's going to be amazing. And then that first factory will also hit everything within 6 tiles. So that will be here, here, and here. So everything within this little hex will benefit from that very first factory. So I am tempted just to go north with this settle. Let's have a look at that. Probably not right now with the camp there. But I can, sorry, I'm very laboured turn here, get a kill there, buy a unit here, and they can walk up there together next turn. And that will allow me to go straight into another settler. Gonna have to wait a little bit on craftsmanship, which is fine. I will let it tick one more and then we'll switch over to foreign, because I'm just waiting on that growth. Stepping around that way, see what else we can find. Pantheon, okay. I will step in there in a moment, but let's have a look what we have. So quite early, not that early, but early enough. No settler, so someone's got there before us unfortunately. Could take an extra builder. I think we're doing fine on builders. There's not really any incentive for these. Plantations are okay, but it's going to be a little while till we have irrigation, and a little while longer till we get down a second plantation after this one. We already have a pasture, so this is a strong consideration. Craftsman also okay to influence this. But that's our only other horse, so maybe not. We're not looking at holy sites. Divine Spark is a default that I really enjoy going for, but it's mainly useful if you plan to build all 3 districts. Just the extra scientist points I feel like aren't even as useful as a single culture. We will build plenty of campuses to get those points. So I'm going to take Open Sky. It's a bit lackluster. It will be +1 now. This city you'll get +1. This city you'll get +1. It is what it is. It's a free monument. Eventually. You are moving up this way. I feel like this city, out of these 4 tiles, is going to settle on the Plains Hill. You are going to come home. In case Australia gets any ideas, you're still waiting for this. You are going to jump up here, that's an early chop. Maybe into a settler, maybe into a unit. Again, if Australia starts getting ideas. Another hut, another whale. Could really use some cash. Or an envoy, that works. That will go into Auckland as soon as we start a building. Otherwise I will the reason I don't put it straight away, it's probably just the safe and smart play, is I'd like to keep it in case we want to Suze one of these, Auckland or A10. Step this way. Maybe someone's fighting it and I can steal it. I'd like to get vision on it either way. Take a nap there. That growth is just really slow. I am going to step off craftsmanship though. We can get those 4 turns for free as soon as we get out here. That extra culture will help us. So, growing really nicely. Just checking for Barb camps. He might have more things to do down the bottom here. I did forget about him. Look at that. Special. Barb's approach. Okay, we have... I swear I just looked and there was nothing there. So I'm going to have to hope to cut this guy off. Because if he makes it home and tells his camp, we're going to be in for a fight. Okay, so that camp got cleared. That's fine with me. I'm going to step across this way and settle that. Okay. This is going to be tight. It's going to be a bit tricky. I'm quite damaged. He's not. And we're going to settle in place. Already got a warrior there to defend, so we're looking okay. I can work on a monument. I will switch to some units once I finish craftsmanship. So we're just waiting for a GOG to go in before we start building up a military, because we will need that. Now that I've forward settled Australia, things are going to get interesting. Okay, so he hasn't come home. We're going to stay put and heal. We're not strong enough to take this just yet. Housing capped. Let's make sure we're working production mainly. We will also need just to, I won't put it down, but just a reminder that this has to be an aqueduct. I keep forgetting about my fortified units. 20 horses. It's not great. We do already have a lot of horses. Let's see if Australia likes them. $36 for 7.2. 35 for 7. 34 for 7. Okay. 33 for 7 it is. That'll help our gold to move along a bit. Hopefully he makes it back out. Let's heal up one more time, and then I'll start heading towards that camp to clear it. We've grown, which is beautiful. I can get that farm down. There's craftsmanship. There's irrigation. There's a free envoy. We will switch to production, definitely. Get God King out of there. We've got a relic doing all that heavy lifting. And I am about to go fight a Barb, but I feel like I need those units. Let me jump out, have a quick look. Okay, so foreign trade's only 5 turns, so I might wait. I'll let that finish. I'll let that progress a little further, and then we can switch both across in 5. Can I kill you in 5? No, actually I'm going to do that the other way, because in 5 turns I'll be ready to attack here, whereas I'm not right now. So we'll switch now. We'll build units. We'll build units. I will switch off of there just to get a quick extra warrior out. I might even use that chop for that. Very concerned about Australia just deciding to get involved here. We'll spend the 5 turns there on a slinger. possibly even chop a few more. So this warrior can come out now. So that'll be 25 plus 50%. So this will be 37.5 production. Boom. Next turn that'll tick over. We'll get a couple of slingers, and then we can finish the settler. So because I'm not competing for exploration up here, I've left the promotion open. Makes us a little bit slower, but also while that promotion is hanging, you can't get the experience goodie hut, which I feel is probably the least useful one you can find. So because I'm not racing any other players to find things or city-states, leaving that promotion is fine there, and just slightly increases your chance of getting a useful goodie hut. Or tribal village, sorry. Okay, we're not at war yet, although there is that slinger sitting right on our borders. This warrior is probably best used up top. You are getting ready to come down this way. I will heal one more. You made it out alive, which is beautiful. You just pick up some information. So, no second continent is a real pain. Maybe it's behind here. There are the units. You can see he's unfriendly. I imagine these go to war with me pretty soon. Quick envoy check. He's got 1. He has 0. And he has 1. Okay, so he hasn't placed too many yet. We'll have to keep an eye on that as that changes. The last thing we want is for him to seize one of these two and go after us. Three turns until that changes. Let's try and block this scout out. I might send one down here just to make sure I can clear this camp. Both of these chops are probably going straight into units as soon as Australia declares war. You don't have much role in here. I'm going to bring you up as a potential saboteur. There's the guy that needs to go. I can hit in there. I've got that promotion as a heal. And he's going to hit back. That's amazing. We are under 50, so I'll take that heal. You are full health. You can start hitting in here. Next turn you'll have discipline, which means you probably don't have a role. So I will turn you around. And we have enough units now. We'll grab another warrior. Again, that 25 becomes 37, which is really nice use of those cards. Oof, another city down.
Every nation lives by exchanging.
Okay, still getting hit into. I'll take that kill. We'll see if I have to defend against that. I should still be fine to do so. Foreign trade and craftsman done. So early empire for colonization is our next bet. Let's try and deal with this guy. Just running back and forth with this slinger. Discipline in. Still on production. And we'll take care of this camp before Australia takes care of us, hopefully. Try and box him out. I don't want him coming round to Tokyo. The point of this city was as a blocker. I'd like to step there next turn. Let's use him to scout in the meantime. Okay, so if you're a saboteur in this war, you want to be amongst these pastures and quarries or near this. So let's see how far through the land I can get before he declares war. Keeping track of our gold. We are making quite a bit of it. Sure. That's not bad. I don't really want to go unhappy. And we will lose our amenities there if we do. But that extra money can give us a lot of boosts right now. I'll take flat gold because he's about to declare war on me. Here we go. So that has made Sunday a little bit unhappy, but I don't mind. Minus 10% there. They're doing their role. What I am going to grab is a trader immediately. Possibly not. I'm going to need to chop out this campus, so that gold is probably going to be a builder instead. I don't have vision for this trade route and this Suze. So let's just delay that decision. Oh, there you go. Good timing on purchasing all that gold. We get our luck straight back.
Writing is easy.
He's not suzerain of any of them yet. That is a bit inconvenient, but he's got nothing going on around here, which is amazing. So you can step back, take a shot. He will survive 1 hit. You should not survive 3 hits though. I don't want to leave here, so he will be the second person to attack. Like so. And great early kill. Oof. Taking a lot of damage down here. That must have been from the blizzard. And take some shots there. Take a shot there. I need these guys back to the front line soon, but I also want that archery boost. So you can't get anywhere useful, and I want to reserve the right to take over Anti here. This could be an interesting chance to levy and go to war that way. You are going to step back, try and lure these warriors away. Rainforest for this area. This will open the chance of a trade route. And then we might be able to even levy up here for this war. Done. We want plantations. I might put a few turns into archery first. We're not in a rush for the plantations. You're going to come this way and cut off these scouts. Yep. Hitting in there is fine. Okay, early empire triggered. This is a bit concerning. He can't really take another hit here. If I step out of the city though, he's going to slam multiple times. I think that's probably still the play. Go this way. You can get a shot off there. We can double hit, really reduce this guy down. Now if he comes this way, I should be able to get the kill with this slinger. This slinger is going to come down to help this camp, because if it puts out a warrior, he won't be enough to keep it. Keep track of these two guys. You can try and come home. Doing okay in this war. He's only sent a couple of units so far, but we'll see if we can take out 3 or 4 more. Build a couple more slingers in time for archery. We may be able to push back. You can see he's actually still only had warriors out, so no heavy chariots or anything yet, because these, you can tell by the strength, is not at a level to trouble us. I'd love to come in and pillage. No improvements yet, although that iron mine might come up soon, which would be a nice pillage. Campus isn't finished, so I'm actually going to try and play this a bit sneaky, and we're going to go sit up here and hope he sends a settler out at a distance that we can come back and steal it. So most likely the settler walks to here and then jumps over. And if it steps over the river, we can grab it before it knows we're there. Monument is being built. I should have grabbed this earlier. So we'll just put that first one into Auckland for the +1 down here. And while we're micromanaging, that's about to grow. Just checking if we have any tiles. We don't. So I'm going to buy the 1-3. At 2 pop, we're basically going to be limited until we can get some farms down or a granary. So I prefer to grow to that 1-3. You're working all the best tiles. We'll finish up that settler. So he did come towards me, that's great. This is going to be a pain, but I'll kill you here, and then you can escort this settler down this way afterwards. Come across, see if we can't take care of him. Ready for a campus. I do need a builder out. I prefer not to buy one. So it might have to be a hard build there. Oops, on the screen. So it would have been nice to be able to do that with the builder card in, but +1 will have to do. You've grown to a better tile. It's amazing. Let's lock that in. That will reduce that monument by a lot. And after Early Empire, I may even spend a couple of turns building units again. We have one more charge here that I'd like to use as a unit shop. So this is actually doing us a lot of work, this Auckland warrior. Just stopping him from getting 2 hits on the city means I can keep the slinger in here and sacrifice the strength. Next turn we will have to switch that out and get this back up to 20 strength. So on what I'm talking about there, if you didn't know, city strength is your strongest melee unit, whether naval or land, -10. So because we've got a 20 strength warrior, this is on 10. If we were to build a horse at 36, all of our cities would go to 26 strength, unless you've got a unit in the city, and then it's at that unit's strength, whichever is higher. You're waiting a turn. You can come help. Great Bath built, which doesn't infect us. He is hitting the unit, which is great. We can continue to harass him. You can step up here and hopefully take a hit. I will take the promotion while we're not being worried too much. You should fortify. Once we get 2 or 3 around the city, I will have to switch. Between the slinger and the scout, I should be able to get that kill, and we'll bring the settler home. Okay, he's gone for a walk to take me out, but I don't think he can here. So let's clear that camp. Yep, you're just going to be on... I'm actually just going to skip per turn so I can keep an eye out. That's not great. Was that Akkad? Okay, we knew that was coming. Because we saw Armani up in the city earlier. As long as Armani stays up there, we're fine. If he moves it down to one of these, it's going to be a real pain. He has got 2 units around. Don't think that's a factor. I don't want to step out of the city, so I'm going to take a hit and then shoot. We're just going to fortify. You're going to take a nap. That is going to be your next chop, which is going to be on a slinger before archery is complete. So I'm going to have to rearrange this a little, but I'll get it down to 1 turn. I want to potentially chop 2 slingers out first, and then those slingers will bring us up to 5 archers. 5 archers should be enough to go against Brisbane and Perth almost simultaneously. Got the kill there. Settler moves down. You can come back. It's the quickest way to the front. Straight through the city? Sure. Let's go hunt down this Australian scout. You're just going to wait. You're the next person to jump into Sunday here. And no settler yet. Ouch. And there's the problem with the 10 strength. See, he's done most of the city's damage in that one turn. It's just crazy. So if I step out here, he's potentially going to get surrounded. But I do want to continue to take shots. So you need to remain there because you're going to soak up damage from these units. To get back up to 20 strength. And I'm just going to fortify. He may send 2 units this way to hit him, so I want him fortified and starting to heal, whereas this can start taking out some damage there. Hopefully taking those 2 hits wasn't enough to worry us, but we'll have to see. Ready to settle, ready to move, chasing him down. He will heal a turn. He's going to wait. This campus is not done yet. Okay, so minus... So he's doing 50. I really need to stop him hitting for a couple of turns, which I can do quite easily here. 1 unit shouldn't be able to reduce this down enough because he'll be taking too much damage. But I will hit out now. That might lower us down to 17 or 18, but he's nearly dead, so... He looks like he's pretty much trapped. Let's get that settled down. I'd love a monument out of here so we can start growing. He will grow ever so slowly on his own. Otherwise I can go straight into a campus, which might be the way. I do want my 3 campuses up. Once you've got your 3 cities down, your next priority is your district discount. You want to try to unlock 2 or 3 districts only, and then you want to build 3 of one of them, and you can build 2 of the other at the district discount, so 40%. 40% off, must go. So campus, we'll do a little campus commercial hub corner and keep room for this industrial zone. So I will go straight into that and I will work production to get that out just a little bit quicker. We're doing okay on gold. I will need 4, maybe 5 slinger upgrades, so that's about 300 gold, which is why I'm not buying any builders just yet. This builder is out next turn. Early Empire in a couple. I will switch off of archery because I'd like to build slingers, not archers. It will be build a slinger, probably into a campus. In fact, I may have to get a monument or a trader out in there as well. Might go like this, because I want that chop to apply almost entirely to the slinger. Okay, took 29, heal by 20, but next turn he doesn't have anyone in range to hurt me, so I can step forward, take that kill, heal, and my city will start regaining health once again. I will jump to here. Attacking into forest shouldn't be too big of an issue. And you're just going to fortify in place. Next turn we can switch back to Agoge. Where'd that scout go? Very slowly trying to pin him down. Not complete. We'll wait again. The AI rarely stops expanding, even when they're at war, so I do expect a settler walk up this way, unless he's got a ton of land on the other side, which I haven't quite seen, but coast, coast. Nice, only 42,
It was
so that's
luxuries
great.
like air conditioning that
There's
brought
early
down.
Empire. So only 42 means we survive another hit here, especially if I can do a bit of damage back to it. Or nearly the kill. You are just going to take some damage. Actually, with no other units around, I'll just get that kill. And we've secured our borders. Units are back. We're ready for archery. We're ready for Goodie in. I do want a wave of builders soon. Let me just double check my timing here. State workforce in 10. So it'll be quicker than 10 because we will get a campus in there. So in about 6. So after that, I will switch to builders and I'll switch all 3 cities to builders as well. For now, it can stay on the +1. We'll go to Go-Go. We will switch to a slinger. What are our chops at now? 30. So they would do 45. Unfortunately, it'll only do 35 and then maybe a tiny bit of overflow. But that's where we want our campus, so that's what we're going to do there. We'll get that trader out. Will I? No, let's use the overflow into the campus actually. I want that done as soon as possible. Working mainly production. 2 turns on growth. 1 turn on growth. Okay, we'll grow 1 and then we'll switch to production. Because at Tokyo, if you have a look, we're at 4 of 7. There's no real point in getting to 6 population just yet. You should have this campus down as well. Just putting it here, there's not really any good adjacencies unless I want to buy all the way out here. And then I can put an aqueduct and a commercial hub, and that will be enough. Governor appointment, Magnus into the capital. So an additional chop here will probably go straight into the campus once Magnus is in the city. You are going to do the same. We are ready to start upgrading. Gonna have to be careful when I do start upgrading. We're only making 5 gold per turn. And that will go on archer upkeep once we get there, so. Major defeat. Still have to chase him, I suppose. Nothing yet, not complete. Volcano becomes active, that's interesting. Hopefully it doesn't kill the stone. I'm tempted to go chop this out actually with Magnus rather than this hill. Just because if this explodes and destroys it, that will have been lost production. I can do both, I can clear this. We'll still have at least 4 tiles of good production to work in the meantime. Should grow to this soon. Another unit appeared. You've got a promotion. You both got a promotion. So I will just promote the both. There's no point wasting the experience. Moving towards the front if we can. They can all become archers now. We are done with building slingers. I lost his scout. Where was he? Here, so he must be there. You're really disappointing me, Australia. Where's my free city? I'd love to settle some citrus. This is a bit trash, but double whales would be great as well. I might try and get out here actually. Without a unit this could be a bit hard, but settling that geotherm would be really nice. Actually I would settle this, and it would be Harbour Campus. Cute little city.
I shot an arrow in.
Ah, I did promote. Oh well. That's fine, we'll just earn some more experience there. Nothing happening along the front. Archery done. Let's get this war started. So promoted unit can become an archer. I'd like this one to become an archer, but we might have to wait on that. Scout into the land, still chasing him down. Magnus is still waiting. You are still active. I will go chop that out before this erupts, hopefully. Irrigation into most likely currency. I'd love to get my commercial hubs down soon. 9 and 22. Yeah, this city needs help. It's running away. We will be able to sneak that kill off. And these guys are all healthy enough to start pushing this attack. Finally moved close enough for me to do some damage. Good. So I should have switched off that. We want predominantly production now. 5 turns. This chop with Magnus will make it go much quicker. We can get a trader out of Osaka to speed him up. This will trigger. We're looking okay. We're looking a-okay. Just keeping an eye on that campus. He has no other role just yet.
Thousands have lived without.
Akkad made peace. So always keep note of these. And he did that because Amani is now in end turn. So if you look, we don't have one, but I assume after Amani he'll put an envoy in, and we're going to have a war on this front to deal with. Hopefully not a overly aggressive one, but we'll have to see. So that's triggering next. I need this to 120. It'd been really nice if there was another camp or something to steal, or I might have to try that down here, but he's going to heal up first. 3 warriors should be enough on the front here. Keep walking around. I'd like to get 1 in front of Perth to do some damage. I'll get this pillage and a couple of archer shots. This one especially should be easy to siege. So to siege a city, you need a unit touching all 6 tiles, zona controlling all 6 tiles. With no rivers, that can be done by just a unit on opposite sides. At that point, the city won't heal, and even just 2 archers is plenty. So these 4 can probably take care of Brisbane. And these 3 are going to start on Perth, maybe with the scout to help some more zona control. I don't have masonry. Okay, that's amateur hour right there. Let's have a look. I do want currency. I don't have time to get masonry. Okay, so we're going to go currency into masonry. Because I'm just keeping track of my error score down here. This is a +3, so that's 3 error score. I need 4 more. So I'll get 1 for currency, and then another 3 if I can do a splendid commercial hub. So that's what I'm going to have to try and do, I think. I'm going to come back here, annoyingly, chop this, because this is the only spot I can get a splendid commercial hub. I will chop this into a commercial hub, and that will get us our error. I would need that commercial hub to be discounted, which means I can't discover the government plaza. This is going to take a lot of bouncing around, so I'm going to put a few turns into military tradition. We'll want that for this war anyway, for the flanking bonus. I'll get some science off this pillage, so that'll help us get to currency much quicker. Maybe off this pillage as well if he ever builds it. Okay, that's the current plan. Campus into trader into commercial hub. Might need a builder to get some more chops out, so might have to delay that trader even further. Just gonna heal up. You're just running around in circles, not ideal. Another archer. Push forward, push forward. That is a hill. I'll wait till I've got more units on the front to push in there. Still just waiting. See if we can't pick anything up there. Alright, it's going to be a juggle. 9 turns is not a lot to get those. With how many goodie huts we had, I'm surprised we're so far away. Okay, there you go. You can see his cities have all changed to 18. That was because of this build, the heavy chariot. We do have enough units nearby to do some serious damage to that unit, which is great. I don't want to disrupt his wonder building. I really hope he finishes that. We are just going to take as many shots as we can fit in against this guy. That's fine. This warrior's just going to have to wait 1 turn before coming to the front. This warrior can do his job in the meantime. Healing, healing. Magnus is established, so we can start chopping. I think I do need another builder, so I'm just going to chop that campus to finish it. We want the science to hit this turn. That'll overflow into a new builder. State workforce close but not done, which is great. You are making me a little extra gold, which I don't hate, because I do need that last archer, and then we'll switch off there. You should be sitting probably here, so that you can move on Perth as soon as possible. And this warrior actually can come up to Sendai, because we've got to be prepared for Antan to come flying in and bother us. Good. Working terrible tiles because I've cleared this when I shouldn't have. Be a few turns till we grow out there, but that is what it is. I guess we will grow faster. We've got another guy coming out for a chop, so I will get this plantation. Barbed camp here, that's something else we can look at. Here and here are pretty much exactly the same, so I'll keep an eye on this. In case Akkad gets close to clearing it, that could be a bonus 2 points. There is the settler. I knew he was expanding somewhere. I don't know where he thinks he's going in here. There's nothing we can do about it, so I'll step here. It'll probably force him back that way. And we can advance. So you need to step to this farm, and I need a warrior to step to here as well. So let's step in. You took a lot of damage, but you're fine. Shots in, shots in. So you see, he heals 20 a turn. We're making very, very little progress without at least a third archer or this block on the city here. In a couple of turns. Peace for 4. No way. It's going to have to be a couple hundred for that one, buddy. He is trying to make a run this way. If only I knew what this territory was like. I think I can get to here before him. So let's give that a try. Some extra money. I'm actually going to just ignore him. We're going to blockade this city. He now cannot heal. Normally you'd want defensive terrain, but sitting on a farm is just as good. I can pillage that at any point for the 50 health. Because you've got a promotion, I'm going to hope this slinger hits him again and I can promote next turn. So let's just grab the 40 science now. That nearly finishes currency. So this trader will finish currency pretty quickly. So let's switch over to masonry. As for extra chops, I can just chop and mine this, and then chop that will be my final action. So a little bit inefficient with these workers. We are not at 60 yet. He wants to help against that spearman. Oh, he's still shooting. Amazing. Just whittling Brisbane down. So there's military tradition. That'll be good for the flanking bonus. This can come out for upkeep, which we don't have yet. That must be on state workforce. Not building any units. I'd love to build some cavalry, but don't have it yet. So we'll take the loyalty, just because we will be taking some cities, and we're going to need that to hold on to those cities. Now, it's important not to finish any of these next ones just yet, but we can put a few turns into mysticism. You get to 60 next turn. You are coming this way to try and snipe a settler. You can come get some vision, stay in the borders to heal. Stepping up here for a chop. He's going to grow. I think we just make it. 4 turn. You grow in 1. Can I get some more production? You still grow in 1. You're going to take the promotion. Step forward. Step back. Shoot, shoot. Fortify. Promote. As long as he maintains these, we're fine, but there is a heavy chariot around somewhere. I don't think we're taking that camp, so I'm going to come back now that the campus is finished. It could be a vital bit of science. Back to currency, now that we're nearly ready. I suppose loyalty. I don't think we take a city in time, but we're also not building any units, so 2 turns, 2 turns, 2 turns, 4 turns. It's going to be tight. It's going to be real tight. Okay, that's not what I wanted to see. Okay, currency next turn. That's what I wanted to see. Thank you. Archer. Just making all my moves before I deal with this war, because that's going to be really quite a problem. You are going to finish that with a lot of overflow. A lot? 3. Okay, not a lot. And then you are going to go into a commercial. I think this actually works. We'll get it on the turn. Alright, still sieged. This is a problem. In order for him to attack any of my units other than these two, he needs to step into the city. That would mean the slinger has to step out of the city, which is okay. He still does kill this, unless I can block it. I don't think he steps in and kills that in one shot. Maybe if the slinger comes out and shoots as well, at which point I think I can just kill Brisbane with the chariot. Or triple archer fire that guy down as well. So I'm going to step to here to have maximum coverage on this tile if he gets there. We are going to stop him from getting to these guys by stepping here, and then I have to step up to maintain that siege. I think that's where we're going with this. I'd love to promote. I will just promote. I feel like the damage here is pretty insignificant. This guy in a rainforest probably can't take all 3 hits. Okay, so I will have to shoot there. You can't shoot over the city, unfortunately. So just maintain. I'd love to promote, but I feel like I might need to take Brisbane next turn. This is tight too. Everything coming down to the wire. I like it. No, especially not for 9. You can do better than that. So he did. He stepped up here and he slammed in. No promotion on you. Okay. So that shot was great. He can... he only has 3 movement. Okay, that's nice. So he cannot get to that archer. He can hit this, but that should be fine. Or I might switch these over. Let's do that. Trying to limit who he can reach. And then 3 shots here should be fine. And a kill. And a new archer at the front. Neither of these are at war with me. That was Akkad, wasn't it? Yep, good. You're going to heal up a turn. He's going to come help Zona control Perth. This settler might just settle one of these, actually. Just get it going. Both of these are fresh water and quite nice. Just here. Little triangle of stuff. Work the fur. I mean, this is much better, but it's a long walk. Okay, camp is done. Time for some tricks. So, we have 2 finished campuses, which means if we have only 2 districts unlocked, the campus and the commercial hub, that second district that we have none built of will be discounted by 40%. You can look up the formulas for that on the wiki. Basically you need to have as many districts built as you have unlocked, and then any district that you've built less of than the ratio of unlocked districts to completed districts, so 2 unlocked, 2 finished, is 1, so any district we haven't built is 40% off. We can send this. I would love to have put it in Osaka and sent it back, but we can't spend the turn, so that will just go here to Sendai. Still some very nice yields for the capital. There's +1
Money,
for
if
currency.
it does not bring you happiness.
Triggering currency will trigger that district discount rule, which will get us a very cheap commercial hub for 57. We chop that for 54. Thanks to Magnus. And we hit a golden age. I could have done it next turn. That's fine. I will go straight into a monument, because we need to get out to our... I would love both of these, obviously, but we need to get to our government. We are lagging behind on that quite significantly. Basically because I didn't bother with a monument. Library. Make sure we're off of mysticism. State workforce. Now we have 3 districts down. We would like to finish this as a 4th. We're allowed to unlock a 3rd, and then we'll be able to put down the government plaza and another commercial hub, both at discounts as well. Provided we dodge other districts in the meantime. But horses will be needed to carry out this war. Brisbane is going to be mine next turn. This campus is going to be mine next turn. Love how he's just hitting the most defendable unit. I have to take Brisbane because I'm just a bit weak here. I would have liked to put some damage into Perth before I did that. But that won't be an option, it doesn't seem. Settle either of these, it doesn't matter. Probably this to be closer. You should have switched to production as soon as I had the money for that archer. Once you're done, state workforce, we will switch into a huge wave of builders. Actually, I forgot, I need masonry. So I will masonry chop a builder with this guy, and that will speed that up. Alright, Brisbane is ours. How can we do it while also hurting this the most? Don't have time to promote just now. Or can I get that kill? I think that's his only unit. Alright. So he's already built the chariot, so they stay at 18. It doesn't necessarily mean he has another one anywhere. I will take one shot with whoever doesn't have a promotion. Okay, suppose both of you can shoot. Let's make this as easy as possible. Take Brisbane. We are going to be dropping a lot here, but we get a governor next turn, and we get a golden age next turn as well, which will save this from going too unhappy. We'll keep the city. -7, we can survive for a turn or two. You need to heal a little, and I need to start walking these guys to the front lines. He should have stepped down to shoot, that was a bit of a misplay. Going to be a little slower than I'd like getting to the front. One more heal before you rush in. Monument as soon as possible. Probably granary first, because you are housing capped. Nice non-freshwater city, thanks Australia. No units, please. Great. Classical error.
It is equally important to have a happy and engaged work.
Alright. So, just to recap that first kind of early game, we chose the districts we were going to focus on, campuses and commercial hubs. We managed to get one district down at a discount. We have used a lot of our resources out of Tokyo and mismanaged a few of them. But we still have plenty of chops with Magnus in there to just do a few more things. We'll get a government plaza down, maybe here, to influence both of these. And then we want to chop out a lot of builders and a lot of settlers. We've got our 3 down. We're doing our district discount 3-2-1 kind of strategy out of these. And then we're going to want to settle in this era at least another 2, probably 3 cities. And then there's a 4th down here. I'm not sure if that's where I'll stop or if I'll try and maximize this land. but one down here for the furs and whales is going to be really important. On top of that, we've kept the capital up. We do need him to start growing, so it's good to have that rice available. And I will need to find another house in here. So chopping this builder will then have to place just one farm, because we have 1, 2, 3 improvements that give us half a house. Just one more farm, even if we don't work it, will just give us that extra housing, so that we're not housing capped. Osaka is super sad. I really needed a builder there. As you see, I spent maybe 300 gold upgrading these archers. So that was going to be his builder. A mine here, buying this tile and improving it would get Osaka moving a lot quicker. We're just going to have to wait on that one. Brisbane is an okay city. It's going to make us a bit of money, which is nice. Once we get Perth and Canberra, we should be in a really good spot. So, Golden Age is dawned, end of the first era. I'll cut it there and continue with the next one.